Okay, so welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Letitia Fraser and I'm the curriculum coordinator at Growing Up Green Charter School. And thank you for joining us in our sustainability conversation. I have here 3 students and our 5th grade science teacher who are here to just ask some questions about your work and how your work helps with bettering our community. So like I said, my name is Letitia. I'm gonna let Ms. Rasal introduce herself and then we'll let the kids introduce themselves.
Well, hi, I am Miss Rasal, the 5th grade science teacher. Again, this past week, we've been learning about sustainability, how we can help protect our environment and help out in our community. So thank you so much for taking time to speak with us. Students, go ahead and introduce yourself. Go ahead, Ari.
Hello, my name is Ariana. I'm a 5th grade student in Growing Up Green. I really don't know how to introduce myself.
That's okay. All right, Andre, go ahead.
My name is Andre. I'm a 5th grade student at Growing Up Greens, and I am here for the introduction of this thing, as you may say.
All right, thank you.
And Sage, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Sage Henry, and I'm a 5th grade student at Growing Up Green, and I'm also here.
All right, so I think the first thing we'll ask, I can start it off unless we gave it to someone else, but what is your name and the name of your organization?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Angela Miskis, and I am an artist and the founder of Abuela Neighborhood Maintenance. And we are a community organization that does community cleanups around Southeast Queens. And we also use art as a form of activism to involve and motivate other people to join us during the cleanups.
All right, thank you. Ariana, would you like to start off with our first question?
Yes. How does your organization help with sustainability?
Right. So what my organization does during the cleanups is that we sort out the trash that we collect between litter, garbage that will go into the landfill, and recyclables. So we make a point that not just to throw everything in one bag, but actually take the time to divert back into the recycling bins the things that we're able to do, the items that we're able to recycle, which is usually a lot of the stuff that we collect, like tin cans, plastic bottles. That's, I think, a lot of the stuff that is usually laying around the neighborhood.
All right, thank you. Andre, you want to ask the next question?
Hold on. How does your organization help with sustainability?
Sorry, Andre, the third question.
Yes, that's what I did.
All right, Andre, the one after that. Sorry, Andre.
What's going on now? What is the name and mission of your organization?
Maybe tell us a little bit about the mission of your organization. I think that might be helpful.
Yeah, so the name of my organization is Abuela Neighborhood Maintenance. Abuela means grandmother in Spanish, and I created the organization to honor my grandmother and her social service work back in my country. And the mission is very simple, just to maintain our neighborhoods in Queens as beautiful and as healthy as possible by the act of picking up litter in the sidewalks.
Go ahead, Ariana.
I'm sorry, but can you repeat the name of your organization, please?
Yeah, Abuela Neighborhood Maintenance. So I can put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I like the word maintenance instead of like cleanup, because when you maintain something, it's about keeping it alive, you know, maintaining that momentum of keeping something looking healthy, and not just the act of like picking up trash, but the commitment to care for something.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna ask, why is your cause important to the Queens community?
Right. I think it's important for to improve quality of life. The reason why I did it is because I will get to, you know, from work and walk from the bus stop all the way home, and then just see litter everywhere around me. And I just didn't think it was a reflection of my community and of the hardworking people that live here. So I think when you live in a clean neighborhood, you just, at least for me, I feel better about my community. I feel better about just about where I live. It makes me feel that I'm cared for, and that yeah, that I live in a healthy place. So I think it's important to keep that up and to share that with others as well.
All right, we're gonna pass it off to Sage.
What are 1 to 2 simple ways we can be sustainable in our everyday life?
Yeah, probably we have more power than we think. Probably the biggest thing that we can do is just make better buying choices. So instead of buying one plastic bottle, maybe consider keeping a refillable bottle of water with you. If you're buying snacks, maybe try to buy snacks that are made, the packaging is compostable instead of plastic, or made of a material that cannot easily be recyclable. And if you do have to buy things with plastic, just make sure that everything gets recycled and disposed in the correct way. So you rinse it, you remove the plastic wrap around it, and that you put it in the right bin.
All right. Thank you, Miss Angela, for answering that. So I guess I'll take the last question. How can others get involved, or how can we get involved as a school?
Yeah, I love to partner with local organizations around the neighborhood. I have partnered with at least like 4 or 5 organizations in the past. And usually that works is like they have an idea or a project or an area that they want to clean, and then I help out with all the logistics. So like recruiting volunteers, getting the tools, setting up the trash bag pickup with sanitation, etc. So you can reach out to me through my Instagram page, is Abuela Neighborhood Maintenance, or you can email me directly, and then we can set something up.
All right, that sounds great. I see, and Andre has one more question. Go ahead, Andre.
This is a personal question. I see you guys are trying to help the world and clean up places. Have you ever had a person walk up to you and insult you of what you are doing?
No, thankfully, no, not that has not happened yet. I must say that when I first started, especially when I was doing it by myself, I was a little bit afraid that maybe my neighbors will get mad at me, or maybe they didn't want me to clean their, like, in front of their yard. But I feel that it's more of a that has never happened. I feel because that I don't think that has happened because I don't think anyone wants to live in a dirty place. And if someone is willing to help out and do it, maybe you're motivating other neighbors to also join you, or also keep up, even if it's just in front of their house.
All right, thank you. And I think we have time for one more question. So go ahead, Sage.
I live where there are a lot of apartment buildings, and because of that, there are a lot of dog owners.
Oops,
Sorry, sweetie, you muted.
sorry, that was my fault. Go ahead.
I see a lot of dog waste on the streets, but I don't really know how I can help with removing the dog waste off the streets.
Like, that's interesting. I feel that that could be something that you can talk to building management. They can maybe put signs. Sometimes they have the signs about like curbing your dog. I think depending on the situation, maybe you can speak to neighbors that have dogs and that you feel comfortable with, and then just ask them, like what can they do to dispose of their dog's waste better. um yeah, those are some ideas that I have.
All right, it seems like they're like warm for questions, but we're gonna ask the last two and then we're gonna let her go because she probably has a busy day. So thank you in advance. So Andre, go ahead, and then afterwards it'll be Ariana.
There is a reason why people kind of dump their trash on the streets even when there's signs, and that's because they try to ignore whatever that seems to be wrong. They are always trying to find the easiest way to sneak out of these situations. And just like you said, putting a sign up there won't always make it a little bit better. It may improve it just a tiny smudge, but not enough to actually show an effect on the town or city. The best way to probably do this is just to, I don't know, show them an easier way to do this. Because if we tried to put signs up, they would just totally ignore it. Most of the people would just totally ignore it, let their dogs poop all over the place, and then walk away from it. But
Yeah,
sometimes they aren't always the way to go. Be like
I
a better.
mean, littering is such a big problem, right? I feel that one of the things that helps me is not like, I don't think I'm gonna fix the world, but I try to focus on the small actions that I myself can do. And so if I have the time and a plastic bag and I don't like to see poop on the street, then I'm gonna go and clean it. And that's my choice to do that. And then that little action might motivate other people to also do the same, or at least not to consistently dirty the area where I live. And the signs, like with any other signs in the world, like you put it out there, maybe you will touch one person and one person will realize that someone in that area cares about not having dog waste in front of their yard. And so it's not about so much about fixing everything, but if you're able to change one mind, then that for me is good enough, because everything adds up.
I agree. All right, Ariana, you are ending us off with the last question.
Okay, so I wanted to know what are the best ways to make the world more healthy and clean.
I always like to think about this at the individual, right? Because like, what can you control, right? So like in my home, I try not to, like when I go grocery shopping, I try not to put the vegetables inside the plastic bags because I know that that plastic cannot be recycled. When I go out, I try to bring my cup. So if I buy coffee, I don't have to get a paper cup. I can just ask the coffee person to fill my cup. If I try to if I order takeout, I try to reuse the containers for something else. When I cook at home, I try to compost or put in the food waste into the plant pots where it will eventually become food for the plant. And there's just like smaller actions. I think just the choices that you make, right? So like if you have the power to buy something, then make that choice be of a product that maybe is not damaging the air, but is actually trying to help, or at least not make it worse. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I think that is important. And sometimes we think that we need to make a big world change. And sometimes the change can really just be with something that you do. So which is why I wanted to have someone that's in our neighborhood talk to us about the importance of sustainability, because people in our own neighborhoods are doing lots of really important work, and they're really focusing in on how can I help Queens, not necessarily how I can help all of New York or all of the US, but how can I just help my neighborhood be more sustainable, and hopefully that will spiral into other neighborhoods. So thank you so much for spending some time with us. I really hope that this touches the rest of our students. And I don't know, I hope you have a great day. I don't know if Ms. Rissal wants to say a final word.
Just thank you so much, and hopefully we can collaborate once we are in person and do some cleaning up around the area.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm happy. Nice to meet you, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.